This is CTV News with Michelle Brunoro.
They said, we're going to watch the snowbirds because this is going to be our last time to see them.
It'll be a while before they have another show, so we thought we'd come down for that.
All eyes on the sky in Victoria as the Canadian Snowbirds perform in what's expected to be their final show on Vancouver Island.
This is the inevitable outcome of the province's failure to fund the operations of its provincially owned heritage sites.
And as historic site of Victoria is closing its doors to the public, what the province plans to do with a Point Ellice house. And Adam finds out how to have a 10 out of 10 life from a man who's lived 101 years. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. It's an historic day in BC's capital city, with the Canadian Forces Snowbirds flying their final show here for the foreseeable future. The Snowbirds will be grounded until the early 2030s while their fleet is replaced. CTV's Anna McMillan has spent much of the day on Dallas Road, where the action is taking place. And Anna, what can you tell us?
I got down here around 11 this morning, and already people were setting up their chairs to try to get an unobstructed view of the snowbirds. And people are feeling a mix of excitement and sadness as the snowbirds fly their final few shows. But overall, it's a day for celebration.
Both me and my wife on holidays, so we canceled our holidays back in the U-boat, and I said, we're going to watch the snowbirds because this is going to be our last time to see them.
They're just so cool, and like, you don't get to hear them very often.
It's estimated tens of thousands of people are watching the show in Victoria, which is the snowbirds' last hurrah on Vancouver Island, where they train in the spring.
From what we've seen in the last couple of shows,
quick.
They've been record crowds. Cold Lake had 40,000. Grand Prairie had tens of thousands of people. People want to see the snowbirds. This is a really important day.
After 55 years, the aging Tudor jets are retiring. The federal government says it's replacing them with Siskin aircraft, which are propeller planes.
Who knows when we'll get to see them again, so it's really exciting kind of seeing their last hurrah, if you will, of those planes.
I think I grew up with them. At the same time, my kids have seen them as well, and there's just that connection that they're Canadian, and they put on a pretty good show.
The Snowbirds' final show is in California on October 11th. And based on the energy here today, it's clear the legacy of the pilots and their jets will live on long after they're grounded. Back to you.
Absolutely. Thanks for that, Anna. A search is underway for a missing hiker in Strathcona Park who vanished while on a hike with a friend. Search and rescue crews set up a command center in the parking lot of Mount Washington's Raven Lodge area. The entrance to Strathcona Park, volunteers were canvassing the campground and trailheads, alerting hikers to the missing 25-year-old. The pair set out to summit Mount Edward yesterday afternoon when they became separated on the way up. The missing man did not return to the parking lot, and a search was launched around 11 p.m. last night.
A number of things happening right now. We have 4 different ground teams that are operational. Comox, Camel River, Arrowsmith, which is the Parksville, Qualicum area, and Nanaimo are on the ground. We have 2 helicopters operating, conducting air search and inserting teams, and we have canine teams on the ground.
It's so easy to get turned around and to lose your orientation, and there's lots of cairns that seem to go nowhere and little footpaths that seem to go nowhere. So it's not perfectly well marked once you're up there.
The missing hiker was not equipped for an overnight stay in the woods. Rescue crews say the man had a cell phone he used to communicate with his friend, but say it had a low battery before the two got separated. Crews are now working to try and locate that phone. The Cowichan Valley's population boomed over the weekend as thousands attended the Sunfest Country Music Festival. Every summer, the region gets a massive economic injection from the multi-day festival. A lot of that boost is concentrated in the town of Lake Cowichan. The town's mayor says the population triples during the August long weekend, which is good news for the local economy. Between cooler weather and economic challenges, the mayor says July was tough on local businesses. This weekend, however, turned into one of the busiest he has seen in years.
I've heard anecdotally that some of them have been down 50 to 60% up until now. I haven't heard how the weekend went for a number of the stores, but everywhere I went, there were lineups and no parking anywhere. So this is the time that the small business make their money to get them through those slow months of November, December, January.
The mayor says it's been nearly 25 years since the last sawmill in the area closed, and tourism is emerging as the largest economic driver for the region. The doors are closing on both an iconic Victoria home and chapter in Victoria's history. Today, the province announced the Point Ellice House will cease operations as a public heritage destination. This means the Burnside Gorge home will remain open to the public until August 21st on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Built in the early 1860s, Point Ellice House is one of Victoria's oldest homes. Local historians say keeping it open as a public historic site has been plagued with funding issues for years.
Not a new message of a lack of plan or coherent vision for heritage sites. This is one that began in the early 2000s, and whether the government was BC Liberal or BC NDP, they have maintained the position that provincially owned heritage sites are a burden and should be, totally self-sufficient, even though they are owned by the people of British Columbia.
Starting September 2nd, the province will assume responsibility for the property and ensure its artifacts are preserved while it reviews options for the future of the site. A Vancouver Island mother is stepping up to go beyond the call by raising money for families dealing with childhood cancers. Lacey Emery is training for this year's Tour de Rock Cops for Cancer fundraiser, drawing on personal experience after she helped her daughter through leukemia. As CTV's Andy Garland reports, her daughter is now in remission and hopes to bring support to others.
Lacey Emery is a Campbell River community rider for this year's Tour de Rock team.
Between group training and fundraising events, you're out there. So it was a bit nerve-wracking, but yeah, it's been really good.
And when she begins the trek down island this fall, she's riding for someone very close to her heart.
I'm riding for my daughter.
In 2022, Lacey's daughter Jill was diagnosed with leukemia.
As hard as training is, and as hard as putting myself out there is, watching her suffer for the last so many years has been way harder.
Jill was an honorary rider a couple years ago and has been in remission for almost a year. Her older brothers Jack and Charlie couldn't sum up the family's feelings any better when they got the news.
It wasn't an easy time, but we got through it, or we're through it, and things are looking up.
It just brought warmth to my heart and felt like she's finally out of it, and when I heard that she rang the bell, it was just such a relief.
Inspired by their grumpy cat, the family has created a Tour de Pause calendar made up of AI cats and dogs. They're selling them with all the proceeds going to Lacey's fundraising efforts.
Put all the scenarios we run into on tour. So the other weekend alone, I got 2 flat tires.
Then on August 19th at Boston Pizza in Campbell River, Lacey and her 2 sons will also be shaving their heads in honor of Jill.
I'm going to do 1 million braids in my hair, and people can donate to cut them off.
Jill, now 10 years old, couldn't be more appreciative of what her mother is doing in her honor.
I'm proud of my mom and think she's done very good.
Thank you.
Andy Garland, CTV News, Campbell River.
Influential Canadian actor and Salt Spring Islander Scott Hylands has died after a battle with leukemia at the age of 83. Originally from Vancouver, he moved to Salt Spring Island in the 1990s with his wife, Veronica. Hylands was known for playing the leading man in a police drama called Night Heat, which ran through the late 80s. It was the highest-rated Canadian-produced original series in Canada at the time. He continued to have roles in NYPD Blue, The X-Files, and The Outer Limits. It wasn't just the lights of Hollywood for the actor. Hylands could also be seen in local productions at Victoria theaters. Well, there are currently 120 wildfires burning in BC, with flames and the impact continuing to spread across the province. This afternoon, officials provided an update on just how many people and properties are affected. The battle against BC wildfires is already stretching crews to their limit, but the fight isn't going to get any easier. The BC Wildfire Service says in trouble spots covered by the Caribou Fire Centre, the Kamloops Fire Centre, and near the Fraser Canyon, weather is about to take a turn for the worse.
Our top priority remains protecting people and communities. August and September are often the most active period for wildfire in our province. We know the BC Wildfire Service almost certainly has several weeks of high-intensity work left before the wildfire season has settled.
100 firefighters from Mexico arrived yesterday, and 200 more will join them later in the week. Crews from other jurisdictions as close as Alberta and as far away as Australia are also expected to join the firefight.
And some hazy conditions across parts of the island through the day today, although mostly high-level wildfire smoke. All of the air quality health index stations around the island reading in the low-risk range. We'll talk a little bit more about that and the heat that's on the way right after the break.
Big win, bigger impact. Get your tickets for the Mega Summer 50-50, brought to you by 107.3 Virgin Radio, CFAX 1070, and CTV, in support of CFAX Santa's Anonymous all-new Kids Count program, supporting children beyond Christmas. Give back, and you could win big.
And Josh joins us now with a look at weather, and you mentioned more heat on the way.
Yeah, even hotter as we see temperatures get, into the upper 20s in Victoria, but feeling more like about 30 once you factor in humidity. It was 30, feeling into the 30s in Port Alberni through this afternoon, 27 in Nanaimo. Air quality, as we said, hasn't been all that bad across most of the island, although you can sort of see that high-level haze in parts of the island. You can see where the worst of the air quality is here in these sort of dark red and brownish zones. You get into the blues, which is most of the island, you're looking at a low risk, somewhere 1 to 3 on the air quality health index. And it looks like, based on the smoke modeling and where the wind is coming from, looks like it's going to be no worse than a low-risk situation for Victoria and most of the island over the course of the next couple of days. So conditions may not improve all that much. You may not see, bright blue skies. There'll be some high-level haze in place, but it doesn't look like the air quality health index readings are going to get too nasty. That said, if it is bothering you when you're outside, limit the amount of strenuous activity you're doing outside. There's clear skies, it looks like, for the next couple of days across most of the island, but you see a little bit of extra cloud cover there in the north, and maybe some patchy drizzle tomorrow, and again Thursday, especially around Port Hardy. A little breezy tomorrow as well, gusts to about 40 kilometers per hour. Temperatures below average by a couple of degrees, so the heat will not stretch into northern parts of the island. You'll be around 18 or 19 for daytime highs right through the rest of this week. Low 30s in and around Port Alberni for tomorrow and Thursday, up around 29 or 30. Again, Friday, mainly sunny skies. Tomorrow's high of 32 is a handful of degrees above average. West Coast as well, way above average tomorrow, 24 and mainly sunny. You get back closer to 20, it looks like, to close out the rest of the week. Comox, 28 degrees tomorrow, a little hazy. It's probably going to feel more like about 32. Once you factor in the humidity, 27s Thursday, Friday, again feeling a little bit hotter with a bit of humidity. 23 is the average daytime high, so way above average here for the next couple of days. Look at Nanaimo, up to about 30 for a daytime high tomorrow. 7 degrees above average. 27s with sunshine Thursday, Friday. Again, some of that high-level haze in place. Temperatures will get back closer to average once we hit the weekend and head into next week. But it looks dry right through to the middle of the month. No significant rain in the Victoria area between now and the 15th of August. 27 degrees tomorrow. There's your Humidex reading. 30 again. A little bit of haze and high-end levels. 26 or 27 again Thursday, 25 Friday, and then back into the low to mid-20s with more sunshine into the coming weekend, Saturday and Sunday. The other thing to keep in mind, UV index tomorrow is going to be 8, Michelle, which is in the very high range. So as you head outside, as always, slap on a little sunscreen.
Some sunscreen, and we'll just be watching that air quality for sure. All right, thanks for that, Josh. Well, new data from NANA's research shows there is no obvious Conservative challenger to Prime Minister Mark Carney. In fact, the poll commissioned by CTV News shows the strongest Conservative contender to beat Carney is former Prime Minister Stephen Harper. So what does this mean for the party's current leader, Pierre Poilievre? CTV's Rachel Aiello reports.
No prominent Canadian Conservative could defeat Prime Minister Mark Carney. That's the big takeaway from a new poll commissioned by CTV News. It asked Canadians which high-profile Tory would have the best chance if they were leading the Conservative Party. And Nanos research found that the top choice was none of them, at 33%. 16% said former Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Just 15% said current Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, while 11% said Ontario Premier Doug Ford. Nick Nano said these findings contain both good and bad news for Poilievre's continued leadership.
He's not seen as a prime minister or a close challenger. That's the bad news. The good news is that it doesn't seem to be anyone in the bushes, the shadows, in the wings that people identify as a real alternative to Pierre Poilievre.
In the absence of a clear challenger, insiders say despite some infighting, no one is organizing to try and oust him.
I think what you're seeing with the Conservative side of the equation right now is the team rebuilding itself, which is why I think you're seeing Pierre have the space and the numbers to kind of have this operating group to figure out what's next.
Carney's continued popularity could also bode well for the trio of upcoming by-elections, said this former candidate.
But I do think that the Liberals have a very strong chance of securing a win in almost all, if not all, of those by-elections. I think that at this point, it doesn't look like Canadians are looking for an alternative.
Adding to this, Nano's latest ballot tracking shows the Liberals widening the gap, with 47% support over the Conservatives' 27%. The NDP, meanwhile, are sitting at 12.7%.
I think for a lot of middle-of-the-road voters and perhaps Conservatives that are a little progressive, Mark Carney actually has a lot of appeal.
Those I spoke to today said while these numbers set the Liberals up for a smooth fall, any misstep could bring the Prime Minister's prolonged honeymoon period to an abrupt end. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
The federal government is investing more than $1.2 million in an Indigenous-led forestry project that will lay the groundwork for a potential new wood processing facility in coastal BC.
Canada's forest sector is at a turning point. Global markets are shifting, climate change is impacting our forests, and the effects of unjust U.S. tariffs are felt by workers, families, and communities. These challenges are very real.
The funding will go toward a study to determine whether the majority Indigenous-owned facility should move forward. If approved, the project could support more than 700 jobs along BC's coast. The federal government is taking the next step toward declaring a proposed pipeline from Alberta to the West Coast as a project in the national interest. The designation allows the federal government to fast-track approvals and bypass some environmental regulations. The public has until September 18th to comment on the proposal. The pipeline is a key part of an energy deal between Ottawa and Alberta. The roughly 1,250-kilometer pipeline would move more than 1 million barrels of crude oil from Alberta to a port near Delta, BC for export to international markets. Coming up, sharing wisdom and mowing lawns. Adam uncovers a century of insight from a 101-year-old man mowing his lawn. That's next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
A trusted voice focused on Vancouver Island first, sharing stories.
We're here in Esquimalt Lagoon
that hit closest to home.
Housing is a problem. What's your plan?
Watch weekdays at 4:30 and at CTV News Vancouver Island.ca.
And finally, Adam finds out how to have a 10 out of 10 life from a man who's lived 101 years on tonight's Encore Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Although today is a special day, David Faulkner begins it in an ordinary way.
I get up about 6 o'clock and I make porridge.
The same breakfast the 101-year-old has been eating since he could still show his age on one hand.
We didn't even have a telephone.
While Dave remembers communicating through postcards and traveling on horses, he'll never forget enduring the Great Depression.
You couldn't afford to buy a new thing.
So Dave was taught how to maintain everything.
You gotta have old stuff to fix it.
And now, instead of using a walker for stability,
like carry tools,
pushes a cart so he's prepared for any possibility.
I never know what I run into all day.
Dave's especially grateful to be good with his hands, since things have gone so bad with his eyes.
I got a spot in the middle of my vision. It blacks out.
While his limited peripheral vision is foggy,
I feel
Dave's passion for mowing couldn't be more clear.
Oh, I like it. It's exciting.
From
1 to 10, Dave, how excited are you?
Oh, maybe 8.
Lawn Mowing Day achieves a strong score because Dave's work ethic is even stronger.
Make every day count. That's what I think.
But if you ask Dave what he's learned at the end of the day really counts,
And I married a lovely lady.
he'll tell you about the 75 years he spent with his beloved Elsa.
She looked after me. I tried to look after her too.
He'll tell you how proud he is of his kids, including Jan, who's visiting today.
Something will happen and you get a little laugh or a smile.
And while Dave suggests you always put family first and never think twice about doing the right thing,
Just try to be honest about everything.
he's too humble to talk about the volunteering he's done for decades. While Dave doesn't know the secret to his longevity, he has no doubt about the meaning of life.
Try to be happy.
And the best way to do that?
And try to make other people happy.
And that is how you make every day, no matter your age, feel like 10 out of 10. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Langley.
Some incredible advice there. That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you for joining us. Take care of yourself.